The soft hum of the train, a familiar vibration beneath me, signals the start of a new leg in my journey. Leaving behind the vibrant energy of Tokyo, Japan, the wanderer now carries me towards the tranquil canals and charming corners of Amsterdam. I trace the edge of my well-worn notebook, a repository of thoughts and observations from countless miles, and feel a gentle stirring of curiosity for what this new city holds. As the Dutch countryside unfolds outside the window, a serene tapestry of green fields punctuated by the graceful turning of windmills and the still reflections of canals. A sense of calm anticipation washes over me. I recall the gentle bowing of the ryokan owner in Tokyo as I departed, a quiet farewell that now transitions into the promise of new encounters. Here in Amsterdam, I'm Silas, a traveler seeking the subtle beauty in the everyday, the vibrant hues of the floating flower market, the comforting scent of aged paper in a hidden bookstore, the gentle rhythm of bicycles gliding along cobblestone paths beside tranquil waterways. This journey, like all my travels, is one of mindful exploration, a gentle unfolding of moments and observations. I invite you to join me as I discover the cozy corners of Amsterdam, allowing the slow pace and sensory details to transport you to this unique city. Feel the cool, damp air carried on the breeze from the canals. Taste the rich sweetness of a freshly made stroopwafel, and hear the soft lapping of water against the hulls of canal boats. It is in these small moments, these quiet corners, that the true essence of a place often reveals itself. And so, with the wanderer now gliding towards Amsterdam, I settle into my seat, a sense of peaceful excitement building within me. If you find yourself enjoying this gentle journey and would like to follow along on future explorations, please do give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more calming audio experiences from around the world. Now, let us begin with Chapter 1. Chapter 1. The Gentle Approach. The train hums a low, consistent melody, a comforting drone that feels as much a part of me as my own heartbeat. The wanderer is gently swaying almost imperceptibly as the landscape outside my window transitions. Gone are the sharp lines and stark contrasts of my previous destinations. Now, the world has softened. Rolling fields, a patchwork quilt of greens and browns, stretch out towards the horizon. Here and there, long, straight canals reflect the sky, each one acting as a still, silent mirror of the world. I notice the windmills first, tall, graceful structures, each one a testament to a quieter time. They turn slowly, steadily, as if they are breathing in time with the soft rhythm of the passing scenery. Each revolution seems to mark the minutes as they drift by, carrying away my worries and stresses as they turn. I lose myself in the motion and find myself being lulled by the slow turn of their sails, their silent watch over this serene countryside. The air takes on a different quality, a moistness, I think, carried on the breeze. It's earthy and fresh, laced with a subtle sweetness of blooming fields. I roll the window down just slightly, just enough to catch the essence. The cool air rushes in, brushing softly against my cheek and gently stirring my hair, a gentle reminder of my physical presence within the movement. my gaze drifts across the landscape. A family cycles slowly along a path that traces the edge of the train tracks, a peaceful moment of everyday life, beautifully encapsulated within the still moment in which I see it. Children laugh as they try to balance, and their parents smile on encouragingly. I pause to watch them and find a sense of calm wash over me as I observe. A picture of home and connection is painted clearly before me within this passing moment. The train's motion seems to slow even more, as if anticipating our arrival. The distant hum of the engine is not an anxious sound, but rather like a contented sigh, a sound that reminds me of all the journeys taken and yet to be had. The clackety-clack of the wheels on the tracks has a hypnotic rhythm, and I find myself breathing to its soft, consistent beat. My internal world, calm and quiet. My thoughts drift and settle on the idea of gezellig, a word I learned was special to this culture, a word that embodies the feeling of comfort, coziness, and a gentle belonging that comes from surrounding yourself with warmth and peace. It seems to be the spirit of this place. It's that sense of tranquility, that slow pace of connection to space and person that has filled me with intrigue. I can feel, within my body and my core, an anticipation and excitement to finally explore this gentle corner of the world. I close my eyes for a moment, allowing my other senses to come into focus. The soft texture of the train seat beneath my fingers, the earthy scent in the air, the low hum of the engine. It's a symphony of calm, a comforting reassurance that all is right with the world. When I open them again, I find my surroundings have transitioned. More houses, small villages nestled between the canals, and closer now the gentle hum of everyday life. There is a sense of being nestled in between here, of feeling protected and yet connected. Here I feel a gentle peace. The train is now moving slowly. I feel it almost sigh as it starts to descend, and a sense of stillness encompasses my mind. A place of peace and gentle observation where there is time to appreciate the quiet things. That is what I look for in this experience. That is what I hope to find here. Amsterdam. I trace the word within my mind and allow the gentle rhythm of the train's wheels guide me into this experience. A sense of calm anticipation is with me as I observe the passing landscape and wait for my arrival into this next chapter. The gentle rocking of the train and the soft hum of the engine is my only companion as I prepare to arrive here in Amsterdam. Chapter 2. A city of canals. The rhythmic hum of the train softens as the wanderer begins its final descent into Amsterdam Central Station. A gentle swaying motion like a lullaby rocks me softly as I watch the platform gently move closer. I feel a gentle breath come through me as my body feels the end of this initial journey. I am still and patiently wait to arrive into the next moment. The train doors hiss open, releasing me into a world that feels simultaneously familiar and wonderfully new. I take a slow, steady breath, filling my lungs with the city air. It's a mix of damp stone and something fresh, maybe the smell of the canals, or a hint of flowers carried on the breeze. The sounds here are different too, not just the consistent rhythm of the train. There's a gentle murmur of voices in a language that is both lyrical and inviting. The station itself is an impressive structure. Its high ceilings and detailed architecture a gentle reminder of the past. Light filters in through the large windows, casting soft shadows on the marble floor. People move around me with a gentle purpose, a harmonious symphony of movement as they make their way to the different corners of this station. Bicycles rattle softly as they pass, a consistent sound that I am growing accustomed to. I move slowly through the station, the worn leather of my satchel comfortable against my side. The train has deposited me into the present, and now I must take gentle steps forward. I trace the lines of my satchel, feeling the well-worn material that has traveled with me through countless journeys. The warmth of the leather within my hands, a sense of consistency that provides comfort and stability in this new environment. I find my sense of balance in that moment. Following the signs, I make my way through the station, noticing how easy it is to get around, a testament to how orderly this city appears. The gentle rumble of trams echoes softly off the walls, a low hum that seems to be the heartbeat of the city. I listen as the sound resonates with me and find a sense of connection begin to grow within. I notice that people step off and onto the trams as they quietly move along their tracks, life simply occurring as it is meant to be. Emerging onto the streets, the landscape suddenly opens before me as the sounds grow louder. I pause just for a moment, breathing in the cool air and looking around. This is Amsterdam, and the waterways call to me. Canals stretch out before me, reflecting the soft grey light and the tall houses on either side, mirroring all that it beholds. It's a dance of reflections, water and sky merging together with the buildings that rest alongside them. I begin to walk along the canal, my footsteps quiet on the cobblestones. The sound of water lapping against the walls is a soothing melody, gentle and steady. Bicycles pass me almost silently, and I find myself stepping to the side to watch them glide by, their tires whirring on the bricks with a gentle consistency. There's a sense of gentle flow, a continuous stream of movement in this urban world. I, too, gently float into the world and allow myself to go with the flow. The Guesthouse is just a little way further. It's a tall, narrow building nestled between others just like it, but with its own unique character and charm. I see soft light flickering in the windows, and I know I've reached my destination for this new part of the journey. I allow a smile to spread over my face as I begin to walk more closely to the building that is to hold my presence for the coming days. I take a deep breath in as I approach the doorway, feeling a sense of comfort and calm. I take one more moment to observe the scene before me. The quiet murmur of the city, the gentle rocking of a small boat on the canal, the familiar smell of damp stone. I feel myself settle more deeply into this moment, finding a sense of calm and connection that runs through me like the canals of this city. I am here, and I am now. Chapter 3. Guesthouse. By the Canal. The wooden door of the guesthouse is warm and smooth beneath my fingers, its surface worn with time. I push gently inward and a bell rings with a soft, welcoming chime, and I am greeted by the smell of old wood and something sweetly floral that sits on top of the comforting earthiness. The air here feels different than the city streets. It's calmer and more contained. The sense of being held gently in this space is almost instantly present. I step inside, and my gaze slowly sweeps around the space. The entryway is small but welcoming, with a few simple pieces of furniture that speak to a previous era, each one with its own gentle charm. A small, worn rug rests on the wooden floor, and a tall, slightly tilted bookcase stands guard against one wall, full of books that I am already longing to explore. The lighting here is soft and warm, creating a cozy and familiar atmosphere, like a gentle hug after a long journey. A woman with kind, crinkled eyes and a gentle smile greets me from behind a small wooden desk. Her voice is soft as she speaks in a fluid, melodious tone. She takes a moment to look at me and smiles, which in return I return, as it washes through me a sense of belonging and understanding. She hands me the key to my room and gently tells me about the house, all in the same tone that I have grown used to since my arrival into this land. My room is on the second floor, and I take the time to ascend the narrow, winding staircase, my hand tracing the smooth wooden banister. The house makes gentle groans and sighs, the comforting sounds of an old building as I move slowly from one floor to the next. As I walk higher, the scent of the home seems to grow more intense, and a sense of gentle calm is growing through me. Each step a deliberate pace that matches my inner quiet. The door to my room is slightly ajar, and I slowly push it open, stepping into a space that feels immediately mine. The windows of the room face the canal, offering a view of gently rippling water and the tall, thin buildings on the opposite side of the waterway. It's an ever-changing picture, and I'm aware it will be the place in which I spend a lot of my time watching the world. The space breathes calm, which settles around me. The walls are painted a soft, creamy color, and the floor is covered with a woven rug in gentle tones. A small, antique desk sits by the window, waiting to receive my notebook and pen. A comfortable chair sits next to it and welcomes me into its gentle embrace. I take a slow moment to trace the line of the desk. From one point to the next and the next, it feels old and comfortable. I see within its design the life it has lived and held, and a sense of home grows more clearly. I place my satchel down. It thumps softly as it hits the woven rug, before letting my hands drift along the wall as I slowly move further into the space. The textures of the room, the smoothness of the desk, the softness of the rug, and even the small potted plants by the window all seem to call for my attention, gently reminding me to slow down and appreciate the small details. There is a gentle and consistent call of home as my senses slowly start to take over. The guest house is so very quiet. Only the soft sounds of the canal can be heard as they make their way slowly into the room. I can hear the soft lapping of water against the side of the building, a constant, gentle rhythm that is beginning to feel comforting and familiar, just like the soft hum of the wanderer. There is a gentle rock from the guest house that moves with each passing boat. It makes me feel like I'm being held in a gently rocking cradle. I allow my eyes to soften as I take in the space. I slowly smile, to myself. This place is to become my home for now. The gentle warmth of the room wraps around me, settling into my bones as I look out the window to observe this new space. I open myself to all that it can offer me, and I find myself settling, ready for this next stage of the journey. Chapter 4: The Floating Flower Market. The morning light filters softly through the window of my guest house room, a gentle invitation to begin the day. I watch it dance over the canals below, each shimmer on the water creating a soft and delicate pattern that pulls me closer. I have learned that my day must be as gentle as the movements of the morning sun, so I move with intention to the sounds of my inner knowing. After a simple breakfast of bread, cheese, and fresh fruit, I make my way into the city. The streets are still relatively quiet, and the early morning light paints the buildings in hues of soft, muted colors. The air feels cool and clean against my skin, and I let the morning embrace me as I gently walk toward my destination. The sounds of the city are gentle, the soft murmur of distant conversations, and the occasional whir of a bicycle, all woven together in a harmonious tapestry of the morning. I reach the canal that holds the Bloemenmarkt, Amsterdam's famous floating flower market. From a distance, I see pops of bright, vivid colors, a promise of life and beauty. The market sits gently on the water, its many flower stalls floating in a symphony of delicate colors and forms. A soft, warm energy surrounds it. I trace the edges of my notebook and take a gentle breath. I am ready to explore this new environment. I begin to walk slowly along the edge of the canal, my footsteps quiet on the cobblestones. The air becomes richer as I move closer. A sweet floral fragrance washes over me, a medley of countless blooms. The smell is soft and heady, a gentle invitation to explore every hidden corner of this beautiful place. It's a sensory overload of gentle sensations, and I feel the energy start to grow. The flower stalls themselves are a feast for the eyes. Tulips, roses, daffodils, and countless others create a vibrant mosaic of colors. Reds, yellows, pinks, and blues, all swirling together in a beautiful dance. The flowers are arranged carefully, a testament to the care and attention of the vendors. I move slowly and appreciate each blossom, its individual life story. I observe the vendors, their faces etched with years of tending to these delicate creations, and find myself drawn to their gentle care and slow, deliberate movement as they create new bouquets. They move slowly, carefully choosing the stems that will best fit within each arrangement, each one unique and individual in its nature. Each one is a work of gentle art. I pause at one stall in particular, drawn to a cluster of deep purple hyacinth. Their scent is particularly potent, a rich, almost intoxicating fragrance. The vendor, an elderly man with a kind smile and eyes as warm as the morning sun, watches me gently as I trace each petal with my fingertips. His gentle silence allows me space to appreciate the blooms. He notices my gaze and with gentle care picks a few from the display and hands them to me. Their cool, smooth petals are a gentle touch. I inhale them slowly, allowing their scent to slowly fill my senses. before giving the man a grateful smile. I don't ask him to speak. We both know that the unspoken word is the most beautiful gift of all. I carefully put the small bunch into my satchel. The soft scents fill my body as the day moves on. I walk slowly now, taking in every sight, sound, and smell, allowing the soft energy of the flowers to wash over me, the water lapping gently against the sides of the stalls, the soft murmur of people talking in hushed tones, and the smell of blooming flowers. They create a truly unique environment. This is not just a flower market, I think, but a space that holds the soft beauty of nature at the center of a bustling city, an oasis of calm within a moving world, a gentle moment within the flow. Chapter 5. A quiet corner in a bookstore. The vibrant colors and sweet scents of the flower market linger in my senses as I walk further into the city. I am gently guided by my instinct, my body pulled toward the promise of quiet. I allow it to lead me, and with no urgency, I find my feet gently guiding me along the cobblestone streets. The world unfolds gently before me, each corner I turn an open invitation to a new experience. The energy of the city begins to soften as I venture into a quieter area. The streets are narrower here, the buildings closer together, creating a sense of intimacy and peace. I notice a small, unassuming bookstore tucked away between two taller structures. Its window display is understated, inviting, with books of different shapes and sizes nestled quietly in a space that calls me closer. I push open the wooden door of the bookstore, and a small bell rings gently above me. The sound, soft and melodic, feels familiar and welcoming. The smell of old paper, aged leather, and dusty shelves washes over me. It's a comforting, nostalgic scent that reminds me of my childhood, of exploring quiet corners and losing myself within the pages of a book. My body feels at home here. The space is small and cozy, with floor-to-ceiling shelves overflowing with books. They are of every shape and size, each one its own individual story waiting to be discovered. Sunlight filters in gently through the windows, creating a soft, warm glow over the shelves. I walk slowly into the space, my hands brushing softly along the spines as I move through. Each touch is like a gentle caress. I notice a comfortable armchair tucked away in a corner of the store, its cushions inviting and welcoming. I settle into its embrace, the soft fabric and plush pillows comforting against my skin. I feel my body soften and gently nestle in the space. I feel the sense of my shoulders descending away from the weight of the day. I am finally settling. I begin to browse the shelves nearby, my eyes tracing the spines of the many titles. I am drawn to a small, unassuming book with a worn leather cover, its pages slightly yellowed with age. The words "Poetry of the Canals" is embossed gently in gold leaf. I pick it up and feel the weight of it in my hands. I gently open it, carefully turning each page with slow intention. The paper feels soft and delicate beneath my fingertips. The words of the poem seem to flow off the page with a gentle rhythm, painting a picture of this city and its gentle life. I am drawn in, as if this little book holds a deeper story of this quiet land. I lose myself in the words for a while. the world outside the bookstore fading away. I read each poem slowly, savoring each line and allowing myself to drift along the gentle rhythm of the writing. The book seems to reflect my own quiet observations, my own reflections of this place. I find that I am growing closer to this land in these moments of stillness. I sit here quietly in this corner, the gentle murmur of the city fading into the background, with just the soft turning of pages, my own quiet breathing, and the warm embrace of the bookstore's calm. A small moment of peace, a quiet moment to be. I carefully close the book, feeling a sense of contentment settle over me, knowing that within these quiet corners I find the connection that always holds the deepest of meaning. Chapter 6. Cycling along the canals. The soft glow of the afternoon sun filters through the bookstore window as I prepare to step back into the city. The book of poetry is tucked away safely in my satchel, a small treasure to revisit later. I feel refreshed, calm, and ready for movement. The quiet corner of the bookstore had given me a new sense of clarity. I am now ready to explore more openly. I step outside, and the city gently envelops me again. There is still a peaceful hum about the streets, an undercurrent of activity, but it doesn't feel rushed or chaotic. It moves with a slow grace, inviting me to join in its rhythm. The air feels warm now, and carries a subtle scent of the afternoon's blooms from the distant flower markets. I walk slowly to a nearby bike rental shop, the sound of my footsteps a quiet rhythm on the cobblestone of paths. The bicycles are lined up in neat rows, each one slightly different from the others, with gentle curves and worn paint that gives them all a unique character. It's hard to decide between them, but in the end my hand gently rests on one in a shade of soft blue. It calls to me like an old friend. The owner of the shop helps me adjust the seat and handlebars, and I gently mount the bicycle, the metal cool beneath my hands. I push off slowly and feel a new sense of freedom and openness as I begin to gently weave my way onto the canal's path. The world looks different from this new perspective, with a gentle rocking of the bicycle, creating its own comforting rhythm. I find myself in sync with the flow of the other cyclists as I move gently along the canal paths. The bells chime gently, letting others know of my approach, but without the abruptness of modern-day sounds. The world seems to open up around me as the wind moves slowly through my hair. A new sensation fills my body, a light-hearted feeling of joy. I watch the reflections on the canal as I glide slowly along, noticing how the buildings and the trees on the sides shimmer in a dance of light. The water reflects a gentle representation of all that surrounds it, the sky a soft gray as it welcomes the evening in. The light changes the scene, giving it a new perspective, another angle of observation. The sounds of the city become softer as I pedal along, weaving my way gently along the paths. The soft whir of tires on the bricks, the gentle lapping of water against the canal walls, and the occasional chime of a bicycle bell, they all merge to create a peaceful symphony of the city. My senses expand into space as I move. See, I allow myself to get a little lost, turning onto side streets and wandering without a specific destination. It's within these unplanned moments that I often find the deepest meaning. I notice details I would have otherwise overlooked. A small potted plant on a windowsill, an intricate pattern on an old building, and the kind smiles of the people I pass. I see the small details, the life happening in the in-betweens. I pause by a bridge, letting my bicycle rest against the stone. The view here is particularly beautiful. The water stretches out in all directions, and I allow my gaze to rest upon the endless beauty. The soft light of the setting sun creates long shadows, painting the city in muted tones. I breathe slowly, taking in the beauty of the scene, the gentle pace, and the soft moments of connection. A gentle thank you flows through me as the day transitions towards the evening. I smile slowly as I turn back towards my bicycle and begin to gently pedal forward, further into the heart of the city. Chapter 7: Tasting Local Flavors. The sky is now painted with soft hues of pink and orange, the evening slowly settling over the city. The canals still shimmer, reflecting the light in gentle waves, and a sense of quiet anticipation fills the air. The gentle cycle that brought me into the city now brings me towards the invitation of warm light, of connection, and of taste. My stomach starts to rumble, and a gentle smile rises as I sense the promise of food. I gently steer my bicycle towards a neighborhood that is illuminated with the warm light of small storefronts. The gentle chatter of voices drifts towards me, the soft clinking of cutlery, and the warm smell of baked goods. The soft rhythm of a welcoming energy guides my movements and invites me closer. It is within these simple moments that true magic resides. I find a small, unassuming bakery tucked away on a quiet corner. The windows are steamy, their glass misted with warmth from the inside. The light glows softly like a beacon in the growing twilight, and a gentle calm surrounds it. The subtle scent of sweet cinnamon and warm dough floats on the breeze, drawing me closer with its gentle hum. I park my bicycle gently against a nearby wall and step slowly towards the door of the bakery. The bell above the door rings softly as I enter, and the small space opens before me in a moment of welcome. I inhale deeply, breathing in the warm, inviting smells of this space. It is a gentle moment of being pulled into a new experience. A small display case is filled with a variety of pastries, each one unique and beautifully crafted, each one a delicate promise of taste. The display is a gentle tapestry of color, shape, and texture, all resting harmoniously together, inviting my eye to explore each individual masterpiece. Each treat looks like a work of art, carefully placed to welcome all who enter. My eyes linger on the stroopwafels, thin, crisp wafers filled with warm caramel. The smell is particularly intoxicating. I observe the baker, her hands moving with a gentle grace and an effortless precision. Her face is soft and kind. Her hands are work of art as they gently assemble the sweet delights. I am filled with a quiet calm as I watch her move, her actions a quiet dance of gentle care. I order a stroopwafel and a cup of coffee, and the woman behind the counter smiles gently. Her eyes crinkle at the corners as she takes my order. Her voice is soft, her words offering both welcome and kind intentions. She makes me feel like I have always belonged here. Her movements are calm and considered, each act a small gift. I find a small table by the window and gently sit down, the wooden chair warm beneath me. I take the first bite of the stroopwafel, the sweet caramel oozing gently and melting in my mouth. The crisp wafer cracks softly with each gentle bite. It's a symphony of sweet tastes that dance over my tongue. The coffee warms me from the inside, a soft, bitter complement to the sweetness of the treat. I watch the other patrons as they gently enjoy their food, observing the casual conversations and soft smiles. A sense of calm and connection washes through me, a shared moment of appreciation. I am a part of this culture, if just for these few moments. I allow myself to slow down and fully appreciate this moment of shared experience, of delicious food, of the beauty of the ordinary. I sip my coffee, savoring the taste, and enjoy the shared moment of connection as it passes by. Chapter 8. The Stillness of a Park. The soft glow of the bakery fades behind me as I step back onto the city streets. The night has gently descended, and the world is now bathed in the soft light of street lamps and the moon. The hum of the city seems to have softened even more, replaced by a gentle calm that feels like a soft blanket on my skin. My feet are gently guiding me, leading me further into the quiet corners of this calm environment. I follow the winding streets towards the promise of open space, of the stillness that I so often crave after a busy day. The sounds of the city gradually fade behind me, and I am aware of the gentle rustling of trees as they draw me towards them. The path ahead of me is illuminated by the gentle streetlights, creating a soft glow, inviting me into its soft embrace. I find myself at the entrance to a quiet park, its trees silhouetted against the night sky. It feels like a world away from the hustle and bustle of the city, a pocket of quiet calm in the center of the urban landscape. The air here feels different, cleaner and fresher, a subtle scent of damp earth and night-blooming flowers. I take a deep breath and allow the freshness to wash over me. I walk slowly along the paths of the park, my footsteps quiet on the soft grass. The trees stand tall around me, like silent guardians of this calm space, and I notice how the leaves shift gently in the night air. The light filters through their branches, creating gentle patterns on the ground. It is a delicate dance of light and shadow, a masterpiece of nature. The sounds of the city are now a distant hum, replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves and the soft chirping of crickets. It is a peaceful symphony of nature that soothes my soul and brings a gentle sense of peace and contentment to my being. I listen to the sounds and gently merge into their rhythm. I notice a wooden bench tucked away beneath a large oak tree and gently sit down. The wood feels smooth and cool against my skin. I lean back and look up towards the sky as the soft glow of the moon peeks through the branches above. The world feels incredibly still, at peace, and at one with nature in these moments. I allow my mind to drift and settle into the peace of the space. The day's events pass through my mind like a gentle stream, each moment of connection, each gentle beauty, all slowly drifting through me. I trace my notebook's leather binding as the day's events slowly sift into focus. My inner world is calm and still, like the pond before me. I observe other park visitors as they gently stroll through the paths or sit quietly in their own corners of observation and connection. Each one is at peace with their surroundings, a soft moment of communion in the shared energy of this tranquil setting. I see each of them with kindness and love, as if they are all part of my own quiet observation. I close my eyes and breathe deep, allowing the night air to fill me completely. The park feels like an escape, a place where the worries of the day can simply fade away, a sanctuary of peace and tranquility. I linger in this stillness, in this connection to nature, knowing that within these quiet spaces, I find the balance that I seek. The peace of the park will hold me throughout the night in its soft and gentle embrace. Chapter 9. A Canal View. The morning sun streams through the window of my guesthouse room, casting a warm, inviting glow over the space. The familiar sounds of the city gently rise, a soft melody that brings me out of my slumber. The light on the canal, that gentle dance of reflections, fills my heart and reminds me of all that I have witnessed over the past days. I stretch slowly, feeling the comfort of my rested body and the gentle movement of the world below. I rise slowly and move to the window, my gaze drifting to the canal below. The water is still and calm, mirroring the sky and the buildings that line its edges. I trace the line of my notebook, the leather warm beneath my fingertips, as the moments of this journey gently float back to me, one by one. I inhale slowly, each breath a gentle thank you. My belongings are neatly laid out on the bed, each item holding a memory of the past days. I start to fold my clothes carefully, my fingers tracing the soft fabric, remembering the moments in which they held me through the city. Each object holds a piece of the gentle energy of this space, and a sense of calm washes over me as I start to pack them into my well-loved bags. I notice the hyacinths that I bought at the flower market, their deep purple blooms still fragrant and vibrant. I inhale their sweet scent one last time and then gently lay them in the bin, letting them transition back into the earth that gave birth to them. I find beauty in the passing of these soft treasures and feel an energy flow through me that is grounded and calm. I return the book of poetry to the small wooden table, and with a soft caress, I gently close its covers. It sits as if it has always belonged here, nestled in amongst the quiet stillness of my room. It is now a part of this space. As I walk to the desk, the light casts its gentle gaze across the surface, highlighting the delicate markings of age and the countless moments it has held over its life. It calls to me to observe and to be still. My gaze drifts to the canal once more as I sit to write within the stillness. I notice a small boat passing by, the gentle rocking of its movements a slow dance of the city. It causes a slight shudder within the building, a comforting reminder of my connection to this world, of the waterways that define it, and the small spaces of shared existence. This feeling grounds my heart. I slowly begin to write in my notebook, carefully tracing each letter and letting each word flow gently across the page, each sentence expressing a quiet and grateful thank you. I allow the words to move through me without strain, It is from this space of silence that words appear, like a gentle stream slowly making its way down a mountainside, unhurried and graceful. I close my notebook and place it back within my satchel, making sure that all my belongings are carefully packed. The task has not been one of labor, but rather one of soft care. There is a calmness that fills my body, a gratitude that washes over me as the gentle rhythm of my journey flows toward its natural closure. I trace the edges of the wooden table with soft fingertips, my body now at peace within itself. I pause by the window, taking one last look at the gentle view of the canal, before slowly making my way downstairs to check out from the guest house. A smile slowly spreads across my face as I remember all the gentle wonders that have filled the past few days. My body is filled with a calm, peaceful and gentle joy as I move towards the next chapter, and as I thank all that has held me throughout this experience. Chapter 10. Gentle Departure. The wooden door of the guest house closes softly behind me, the gentle chime of the bell echoing gently in the stillness of the morning air. I carry a sense of warmth with me, like a small fire that gently burns from my core. The soft scent of old wood and flowers still lingers in my senses. The feeling of home travels gently with me. I begin to walk slowly along the canal, the cobblestone paths warm beneath my feet. The sun is now fully risen, and it bathes the city in a soft golden light. The water glistens, mirroring the sky, and small boats slowly move across the waterways, the small details moving as the city moves on. I allow myself to slow down, to simply be present as my body gently guides me towards my final destination within this land. I find my way back to the familiar bustle of the Amsterdam Central Station. The sounds here are a reminder of the moving world that flows gently and constantly, but I allow its energy to flow through me, and I maintain the calm pace of my being. I breathe deeply and observe, taking in all the final details that have colored my experience. The platform for the wanderer is now in sight. I see her waiting, her polished green exterior gleaming gently in the morning sun. Her brass details sparkle and dance, each one a small beacon of welcome and a reminder of home, of familiarity, and of peace. The rhythmic hum of her engine begins to rise, inviting me into its safe embrace. I approach slowly, my hand resting gently on the worn handle of the door. A wave of warmth travels gently through me as I pull it open and step back onto the wooden steps that have carried me through so many journeys. The air inside is familiar and comforting, a soft blend of wood, leather, and a hint of old books. The comfort of my home surrounds me in a soft and gentle embrace. I settle gently into my seat by the window, my satchel resting beside me on the floor. The train begins to move slowly, the familiar clackety-clack of the wheels filling the air, a familiar rhythm that has grown to become a comfortable friend. I watch the city recede in the distance, the tall houses, the winding canals, the small details of life all beginning to disappear. The city now becoming one single moment in time. The colors seem to fade slightly as the city is taken further from my view, turning from strong and solid forms to soft and gentle shadows on the horizon line. The warm yellows and the soft blues, each one transforming slowly, a gentle transformation from solid matter to a memory within time, a moment of observation, a space in which to appreciate. I trace the well-worn edges of my notebook, feeling the texture of the leather between my fingertips as I look through my notes. My thoughts drift over the past few days, the beautiful flower market, the quiet corner in the bookstore, the gentle movement along the canals, the taste of the stroopwafel, the stillness of the park. Each memory a beautiful reminder of what this space has gifted me. My body softens with a sense of gratitude and a deep contentment. The train continues to move forward, and as the city slowly disappears from view, I settle back into my seat, feeling peaceful and content, gently smiling, knowing that my time in Amsterdam has created something new. I feel grateful for this soft journey, and I am open and excited to move gently onward. This journey has been a soft blessing. This journey has been a gift. The train continues to move forward, and as the city slowly disappears from view, I settle back into my seat, feeling peaceful and content, gently smiling, knowing that my time in Amsterdam has created something new. I feel grateful for this soft journey, and I am open and excited to move gently onward. This journey has been a soft blessing. This journey has been a gift.